Hey, welcome to the free keyword research guide. The goal of this guide and the goal of keyword research is to find words or phrases that people are typing into search engines like Google. These are called keywords, and ideally you want keywords that a lot of people are searching for and keywords with low competition among other marketers online. Of course, those are competing interests, which means generally if something is in high demand online, there is already a lot of marketers trying to meet that demand. You want to try to find more exclusive niches that at least give you a chance to get ranked on Google. And keywords could be things like games you like to play, crafts, how to play instruments, home theater systems, anything that interests you. We could spend days on keyword research to find a real gem with low competition and lots of traffic. But for right now, the key is just to get you started and taking action. Once you've done this a few times, you will start to get a feel for what is going to be profitable and what isn't. For today, just pick something you're interested in. That way, even if it doesn't turn out to be a gem keyword that you can retire off of, you will at least have spent your time on something that you like to write about. Okay, so for my example, I'm going to do backyard chickens. I actually have backyard chickens, and I've been wanting to write about them for a while. I also know there is a growing market for this kind of information, so maybe it'll turn out to be profitable in the end. Also, remember that this is the free method for keyword research. Later on, if you need help finding profitable niches or want to speed the process up, there are paid programs that can take care of all the dirty work for you. So let's get started. I have 2 sites and 1 free program that will help you come up with new keywords and gauge the competition and traffic. The first is Google Search, and I'm sure you've all used this before. I'm going to go ahead and enter my keyword and hit enter. So this is what the search results look like for backyard chickens, but what I want to do is go over here on the left hand side, and there's either an option that says more search tools. You go ahead and click that, or if it's already here, go ahead and hit Wonder Wheel. This will show us the Google Wonder Wheel, which is a very useful tool for finding related keywords to your main keyword. For right now, I'm going to stick with backyard chickens and go to another program called Traffic Travis. The link to this will be down below, and you need to go ahead and register for this program. So go ahead and enter your name and email to register and download the program and install it on your computer. I already have a copy on my computer, so I'm going to go ahead and open that up right now. So this is what it looks like when I start it up. Now this is the professional version. You're going to be getting the free version, but it's essentially the same for what we're doing right now. We're going to go here to SEO analysis, analyze keyword. It's going to start up a video here. You can go ahead and close that. And then right here where it says phrase to analyze, you're going to go ahead and enter the keywords to have Traffic Travis analyze the competition. So I'm going to enter my keyword, and then I'm going to just go ahead and analyze the top 10 results. Hit enter. It'll take a second to pull this information from online. So I went ahead and paused it because that actually took a couple minutes. But these are the results. And just to keep it simple, for right now we want to look at PR, which is the page rank, which is the authoritative score that Google gives websites, and the backlink score. And for this keyword, backyard chickens, we can see that the PRs for most of these sites are between 3 and 5. There's a couple zeros. And for backlinks, most of the sites are in the hundreds, with a couple up in the thousands. Now for PR, anything above a 2 or a 3 is going to be rather challenging to compete with. And for backlinks, anything above maybe 100 is going to be difficult when you start off. Later on, when you get into things like automated backlinking, you can create hundreds of backlinks rather easily. But right now, while you're using free methods and manual backlinking, it's more realistic to try to compete with sites that have fewer than 100 backlinks. Also, just to clarify, the difference between these 2 columns, BL and BLS, is that backlinks are for a specific page, and BLS is backlinks for a whole site. So for example, Backyard Chickens here has 33,700 links pointing to the domain, but this particular page on Backlink Chickens only has 2,500 links. For competition purposes, the most important is probably backlinks to the individual web page. So, since the results for this have quite a few PRs above 2 and 3, and the backlinks are well above 100 for most of these, this is a rather competitive keyword to get started with. So what I'm going to do is go back to Google, where I had my keyword wheel, and I'm going to take a look at some of these other related keywords that should have less competition. For instance, I'm going to go ahead and take backyard laying chickens. But I'll go back to Traffic Travis and type in backyard laying chickens, hit analyze. So after a couple of minutes it came back with these results, and for this one you can see that the PR is a lot lower. There's a lot of 1s and 2s, and the top result is actually 0. And then for backlinks, again, these are quite a bit lower. Most of them are below 100, and the top one again has 0. Something to look at too is whether the keyword is in the domain name of the sites you are competing against. So if you remember from the last search I did, backyard chickens, the top 4 results were actually from this site, backyardchickens.com, and that site had the keywords in the domain name, which gives it a big boost for SEO and makes it harder to compete against. For this keyword, backyard laying chickens, there aren't any results here that have those keywords in the domain, which also might mean that backyardlayingchickens.com might be open, or backyardlayingchickens.org. I haven't checked that yet, but later down the road, if I decide I want to buy my own site, those are possibilities that might be available. But for this keyword, I like the results. I don't think there's too much competition. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and copy this and take it to the next stage of our research, which is the traffic analysis. To analyze the traffic, we're going to go back to another Google site. This is the Google Keyword Tool. A link for it will be down below this video, where you can do a search for Google Keyword Tool. And right here for word or phrase, I'm going to go ahead and enter my keyword, fill out this CAPTCHA, and hit search. Now one thing I want to do before I look at this too closely is go over here on the left hand side and switch the match types from broad to exact, and that will change the results a little bit for me. So there are a couple things that Google gives us here. The first one is another list of related keywords, which can help you come up with new ideas. The second thing it's going to do is give you the local and global monthly searches for that keyword, which is the number of people that are searching for it each month. For our purposes, go ahead and use the local monthly searches. Go ahead and ignore the competition column. It's known to be a poor indicator and doesn't really tell you anything. So right here, the keyword that I put in, backyard laying chickens, actually only gets 22 searches a month in Google, which means that less than 1 person a day is typing that in and looking for backyard laying chickens. That is pretty low and not really a keyword worth targeting. As a rule of thumb, most marketers try to find keywords that have at least 30 searches a day, which is about 1,000 per month. But what I can do with this tool is find some of those keywords that are getting at least 1,000 searches per month. This first one here, backyard chickens, that was one of the ones I looked at before that I said probably had too much competition. There's backyard chicken, raising chickens, urban chickens. If I scroll down, laying hens, and then down here at the bottom there's a couple that are close to 1,000. Chicken coop design. I know a little bit about that if I wanted to write about it. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to take one of these keywords, how to raise chickens, and I'm going to go back into Traffic Travis and see how the competition is. So for how to raise chickens, again we can see that the PR is more competitive than the last search we did, and the backlinks are higher too, but I think that this is less competitive than our original search with backyard chickens. So we're beginning to narrow down on the keywords that still get a fair amount of traffic but don't have so much competition. But you can also see how this process can take some time to get the best keywords. In the end, you might even find out that the niche you wanted to write about, like backyard chickens, isn't going to be a highly profitable niche for you, either because there's too much competition or there just isn't enough traffic. But as I also pointed out, for the purposes of this demo, stick to the topic that you wanted to write about and try to find about 4 related keywords that are going to have the best combination of traffic and competition. Alright, so I spent about 15 minutes continuing my research with Traffic Travis and Google Keywords, and what I came up with are these 4 keywords that I think have moderate traffic and moderate competition. And also what I did is select one, the first one here, as sort of my main keyword, so these other keywords relate back to my main keyword. But now that we have these, we can go ahead and move on to the next part of the guide.